Yo everyone guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, going over the trades we took on Friday as well as the plan going into tomorrow and the plan for this week. So Friday, this is what we looked like. Friday was a pretty good day. So if we go here on the 30-minute, this tells us the main trend in the market. This pretty much tells us what direction we want to be focusing on the 0-day chart. So right off of open, this is what the 30-minute looked like. We ended up closing below this 50 SMA here, and this 50 started turning down. 10 SMA was crossing below 50. That meant that the market's getting sent neutral because the bears lost this trend. And you guys know the last like 3 weeks we were bearish, and then we finally got a clean negative cross. Like these other ones down in here weren't really clean because the 50 never turned down that much. It was back in here it was pretty much curling up the entire time still, and we never got that like curl down of the 50 to flip like completely neutral. So we finally got it on Friday, and that is why we saw an upside move, because like I said in the last video, when like one side loses the trend, the opposite side usually gets a push. So in this case, the bears lost the trend, and since the puts are going negative on the 30-minute, that pushes us higher on the call side, and obviously we'd go higher. So how do we play this now? So we go to the 0-day chart, and this is what we took. So on the call side, 5-minute time frame, this is what we got. A little bit after open, we ended up getting this cross right here. I didn't take an entry on this until right here. I tried this cross right at this 10 SMA. It was a low risk entry because I didn't enter on this before because we had news right at 10 and we got a very funky candle. And I mean, I don't like, you could have bought this dip down here at the 50. It was just higher risk. I wanted the price to settle a little bit. Because I've seen crosses where this happened. We have news at 10 and it just immediately goes negative, and we just like absolutely destroyed the 50. So I wanted to wait a little bit on the next candle to see what that candle happened and looked like, and then on this open on this like 10 SMA dip, that's where I got in, and then as we started breaking below it on this candle, I got out, and then that was like a 25-30 point loss I took. I didn't call that one out on the Discord, but I did call this one out. Very simple. Again, we don't buy this dip down here at the 50. Why? Because the market is now neutral. The last like 3 weeks, the market's been bearish, and on the put side, we were buying those 50 dips. But since we are neutral right now, on the call side, you can see here, 30-minute, the puts are negative, 10's below the 50 on puts. And then if we go to the call side, it's the same scenario. 10 is below the 50 on puts. So, there's no trend in the market, and when there's no trend, you don't buy those 50 dips. So if we go back to the call side, we don't buy this 50 dip. Messed up the chart, messed it up again. We don't buy the 50 dip, and we wait for a closure back above the 10. So once we got back above the 10 SMA on this 1040 candle, after we closed, we went long in the Discord, and we got a very nice move out of it. You can see very, very clean move, went in our favor pretty much immediately. We got like 90 points on this. It was a very clean move. Again, at this point on this candle right here, I wasn't trailing the 10 anymore because I know we're in a neutral market, and it could come back down. So I just took it all off on this candle up in here, and I'm happy with that. That's the only trade I took on Friday, just because we were neutral. So it's not like I'm trying to milk out every single point the system gives, or every single trade that we get from the system, just because I know we're neutral. So last 3 weeks have been really nice because it's been really easy to milk out a ton of points because we know there's trend on the one side, which was the bear side, but now we are neutral. So I'm not going to be looking for as many points. Even though the market has been moving nicely still, I'm still not going to be looking for those crazy like 120, 150 point moves that we've been getting on like a 0-day cross. So, anything in that like 60 to 80 point range on NQ, I'll be, pretty much all out at that point if we get up towards that like 70 to 80 point range. But yeah, that was a very simple plan on Friday. Again, the system, it's very simple. You just got to understand what trades you want to be taking every single day. When it comes to depending what market we're in. Like we're in a neutral market, cross on either side works, but like I said in my past video, most likely it will be a call cross if the bears lose the trend, because that'll push us in the opposing direction, which is the call side, and then that pushes the calls to cross, and then we go from there. Either play the initial cross, which I tried, and then you play the 10 reclaim. You don't buy the 50 dip when we're neutral. So that's how you would have played Friday. Going into tomorrow, what do we look like? Again, we are neutral. There's no trend on the 30-minute like we just went over. Calls are close to crossing, but the thing is, on the put side of things, we're at like a very big spot here, because if we go to the higher time frames, we are sitting right at the 4-hour 50, and it's the same thing as being below it. The 4-hour 50 is a massive spot. You can see back in here, one tap, two taps. We were dancing around it a lot back in here, and now we're finally back at it. And I wouldn't be surprised if we did gap down tomorrow, just because we closed at a key spot on the call side right here on the 30-minute. Go to 30-minute time frame. We closed at a key spot. We didn't cross yet on the 30. If we gap down, this will obviously not cross. If we do gap up, maybe we'll get the cross, but we still need the 50 to turn up because it is still sloped down a little bit. So no trend at the moment. I favor downside still, just because of where we're at on the 4-hour chart. On the put side, we're at a really big spot. Also on the daily, we're sitting right at the 52. I know it's pointed down a little bit, but still we're at that 50 SMA here. We're at the 50 SMA in the 4 hours. So if I had to be a little biased, it would be the downside, because the call side hasn't crossed yet. If we do get that 30-minute cross on calls, then I would be more bullish, but that's not the case at the moment. We'll have to see how we open up tomorrow and then go from there. So the two scenarios for tomorrow are: we gap up and flip bullish, that 30-minute crosses and the 50 curls, flattens out, and the market becomes bullish. And at that point, okay, focus is on the long side. We look for a 0DT cross on calls. That'd be your best opportunity, your best trade to take if that 30-minute cross is bullish. And then after that 0-day cross on calls, the 50 dip, because we know we're trending. You could buy that 50 dip. Scenario number 2 is we gap down tomorrow and the 30-minute on the call side doesn't cross, and then from there most likely we get a put cross, because that's rejecting that 50 SMA on the 30-minute on the call side, and we're also bouncing from that 4-hour 50 on the put side, which is a strong support area for puts. So in that case, we get that put cross, and then we're still neutral at that point. So you don't buy the 50 dip on puts. You could wait for a reclaim of the 10 on puts. I kind of favor that scenario going into tomorrow, but it all really depends on how we open up right at 9:30 and then go from there. So those are the two scenarios going into tomorrow. Like I said, I think we're gonna see that downside scenario, but I'll play either side we get. That's the great thing about the system. We're not heavily biased on one side. We could be more biased on one side once we get that trend on the 30-minute. When we're neutral, there's always two scenarios. Even when we're in a trending market, there could be two scenarios, because if there's that big gap between the 50 SMA on the where price is and where the 50 is, we could possibly play the call cross. If not, majority of the time we're focused on that side of the trend. So that's why it's really nice. We got two plans for tomorrow. We just have to pretty much sit back and wait to see which one we get, and it's it's very simple. So that's the plan going into tomorrow. If you guys enjoyed, drop a sub. If you guys want to learn more than just the videos, join the Discord down below. But I'm telling you, all you need is the videos. If you watch every single one of them, you'll pick up on things, learn things, and just get better. But if you want to see it happen live, Discord is the place to be. I'm telling you, there's not a better Discord out there than ours. A ton of value in there on how to trade the system, and you could just see the trades develop live and see when we actually enter these crosses, because you might be confused on how to do that, and just seeing it in real time may help you with that. So yeah, join up if you want to learn. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. I'm out. Peace.